The Architecture of Aging, a chronicle of the Miller residence. The afternoon sun, a pale disk of gold, filtered through the delicate lace curtains of the Miller household, casting elongated, rectangular shadows across the polished oak floorboards. It was a day characterized by a quiet, almost heavy sense of nostalgia, at least until Judy Miller emerged from the rear hallway, waving a thick, rectangular envelope with the frantic energy of an archaeologist who had just unearthed a long-lost civilization in a dusty attic. Bill was slumped on the leather sofa, his posture a definitive testament to a grueling week of corporate meetings and a weekend dedicated to the noble pursuit of absolute stillness. "Hey," Judy announced, her voice echoing with a resonant chime throughout the living room. "I finally managed to get those old rolls of film developed from Brian's birthday party." Bill squinted at her, his mind slowly shifting gears from a light nap to the immediate reality of the present. "Judy," he noted with a dry chuckle, "those are from Brian's 8th birthday party. That celebration took place 6 years ago." "I am fully aware of the chronological timeline, Bill," Judy replied, sliding a glossy photograph out of the protective paper sleeve with a flourish. "But now you can finally cease your constant inquiries regarding the lost memories of our past. Look at this one. Here you are, captured in a moment of pure, unadulterated potential." Bill took the photo, studying the image with a deeply puzzled expression. "Where exactly am I? I see you looking radiant. I see the mountainous cake. And I see a very young Brian covered in a layer of blue frosting. I do not see myself anywhere in this frame." Judy leaned over, her index finger tapping her own midsection in the photograph. "Right there. In Mama's belly. You were quite the silent passenger back then, waiting for your grand debut." Tina, the youngest and most inquisitive member of the clan, hopped over to peer at the vintage image. She looked at the photo, then at Bill's current physique, which had softened considerably since his days as an amateur athlete. "Who has it in Daddy's belly now?" she asked with the brutal, unvarnished honesty that only a child can muster. Bill patted his stomach with mock dignity, his eyes twinkling with a mischievous glint. "You do not know yet, sweetie, but we are fairly certain it is going to have a long neck and a foamy head once it matures. Now, why do you not go wash up for dinner? Your Aunt Linda and her new companion will be here any minute." As Tina scurried away, Bill stood up, his joints letting out a series of audible pops that sounded like dry twigs snapping in a winter wind. "Linda and her new boyfriend will be here soon. I thought I would fire up the charcoal barbecue and grill tonight. It is the honorable thing to do for guests." Judy looked out the window at the frost-covered grass and the gray, biting sky of the late autumn afternoon. "It is freezing out there, Bill. You are going to be standing in the elements all by yourself while we are in here getting to know Linda's new guy. I can see exactly where you are going with this. You want to avoid the awkward small talk by hiding behind a cloud of smoke." "Hi, Bill." "Bye, Bill," Bill joked, already heading toward the sliding patio door. "Hello." Sweet freezing cold. It is a small price to pay for the sanctuary of solitude. However, before Bill could escape to the sanctuary of the grill, the front door burst open with a gust of wind. Linda flew into the foyer, looking as though she had just finished a high-stakes marathon of personal grooming. She was frantic, checking her reflection in every shiny surface she passed, from the hall mirror to the brass doorknob. "Hey, where is Trevor?" Judy asked, looking past her sister into the empty driveway. "I had to get in here first and tell you something vital," Linda whispered, her voice a frantic mixture of excitement and sheer terror. "I told him I am 27. Judy blinked, her jaw dropping slightly. "You told him you were 27? Linda, why would you want to start a meaningful relationship on a total, verifiable fabrication? That is 10 years of history you just erased with a single sentence." "You know?" A small, rational voice in my head asked that exact same question, Linda admitted, adjusting her hair with nervous fingers. Fortunately, it was drowned out by a much louder voice screaming, "He is young. He is hot. Lie your 37-year-old self off." "Linda, that is incredibly shallow," Judy sighed. though she couldn't hide a small smile at her sister's characteristic impulsiveness. At that moment, Trevor walked through the door. He was a specimen of physical perfection that seemed entirely out of place in a suburban living room. He was wearing a shirt that appeared to be struggling to contain the sheer mass of his shoulders. "Sorry, Linda. I could not find your specific lipstick in the car," Trevor said. His voice a smooth baritone that seemed to vibrate the very air in the room. "Trevor." "Honey," Linda chirped, her voice jumping an octave as she clung to his arm. "Meet my sister, Judy. You can call her my baby sis since I was a Chicago Bulls cheerleader and she was. Well, she was the academic one. We had a lot of fun on that squad. Did not we, Linda?" Judy said, her voice dripping with enough sarcasm to coat a fleet of cars. Trevor grinned, displaying teeth so white and symmetrical they were nearly blinding. "Linda is wild. She took me to Club 31 last night. I am a VIP there. I end up doing a shot off his abs. It was quite a celebratory night." Linda beamed, looking at Trevor as if he were a prize-winning statue she had just won at an auction. "Show her your abs. Sweetie. Go on. Don't be modest." "No. That is really not necessary," Bill said, stepping back into the room and feeling suddenly very aware of his own lack of a defined waistline. "Go ahead, Trevor," Linda insisted, patting his stomach. "That is what they are there for. They are public property today." Trevor shrugged and lifted his moisture-wicking shirt. The room went silent. It was not just a six-pack, it was a topographical map of extreme muscular development. Judy tentatively reached out and poked one of the muscles as if she were testing a ripe melon at a grocery store. "Oh, my," Judy whispered, her eyes wide. "How is that for a six-pack?" Bill looked at Trevor's stomach and then back at his own. "Six-pack? Who wants a six-pack when you can tap a keg?" "Trevor. This is my husband." Bill. This is Linda's boyfriend." "Trevor. Nice to meet you," Trevor said, extending a hand that looked like it could crush a bowling ball. Bill took it, feeling like he was shaking hands with a hydraulic press. "You, too," Bill replied, trying to maintain his dignity. "Why are you all sweaty?" "Trevor? Did you run here from the gym?" "Oh, I was trying to get the grill out of the garage for Bill," Judy interjected, her eyes dancing. But Bill could not get the door to open. It seems to be permanently stuck. Linda saw her chance to showcase her new companion's utility. "Trevor. Honey, could you open the garage door for Bill? He has been struggling with it for 20 minutes. "I would not bother," Bill said, his pride wounded. "It is frozen shut by a layer of ice. It requires a blowtorch or a professional miracle." "Maybe Trevor can melt the ice with his eyes," Judy suggested with a smirk. "I do not mind taking a look," Trevor said, heading toward the garage with the easy, athletic confidence of a man who had never met a physical obstacle he could not conquer. "I will give you a hand." "Bill." "Oh, no. Bill," Linda said, stopping her husband with a firm hand on his chest. "We do not want you to hurt yourself. Trevor looks like he can handle it. He lifts heavy weights professionally." "Yeah. And not just his own weight off the sofa," Judy added, watching Bill's reaction with keen amusement. Bill watched Trevor walk away, feeling a strange mixture of admiration and a sudden, burning desire to join a gym. "I do not know about the new guy," he whispered to Judy once they were alone, "but his son seems very nice." Linda told him she was 27. Judy reminded him once more. "He will find out the truth eventually," Bill noted. "Trust me," Judy whispered. "He will find out when the light is right." Minutes later, Trevor returned, looking completely unfazed by the sub-zero temperatures. "I got it open," he announced casually. "I just threw a little shoulder into it. It was no big deal." "Oh, come on now," Bill said, skeptical. "I bet you have not had a little shoulder since you were 5 years old." "My job keeps me in shape," Trevor explained, leaning against the doorframe. "I teach spinning at the health club." That is where Linda and I met. I am also a triathlete in my spare time. Bill puffed out his chest, attempting to reclaim some of his lost masculine territory. I am more of a team sport guy myself. You know, the classics, football, basketball, hockey, the high-impact stuff. Until 6 o'clock, Judy interrupted. And then he switches to the high-impact sport of watching game shows from a horizontal position on the recliner. Trevor's eyes lit up. You play hockey? That is awesome. It is a great way to stay youthful and maintain your reflexes. Well, Bill said, feeling the weight of the lie settle on his shoulders. I do not play as much as I used to, but I still pick up a stick now and then. Especially if there is a marshmallow at the end of it, Judy whispered to herself. The following Monday, Bill arrived home with a massive, overstuffed bag. He looked like a man who had just raided a professional sporting goods store. Hey, Bill, Judy said, looking up from her novel. What is in the oversized bag? I joined that roller hockey league at the recreation center, Bill announced, pulling out a set of shiny black pads. I had to buy some equipment to stay competitive with the younger players. Judy stared at the mountain of gear. Oh, this is so incredibly cute. You are doing all of this because of Linda's boyfriend. Trevor. No, Bill insisted. It is because I want to play hockey and reconnect with my inner warrior. I was a legend on the ice back in high school. Yeah. Well, while you were back there in the 1970s. Pick me up a can of Tab, Judy joked. Judy? I have made up my mind. I am playing hockey. It is time to get back in the game. Whatever, Judy said, sighing. But do you not think you should work your way up to something as strenuous as hockey? Like, maybe you could start by walking past the couch without sitting down. Eventually, you could walk to the gym. After a couple of weeks, you could go inside and have a look around. Bill ignored her. It is a beginner league. Judy. And I have played before. Remember? I used to be Killer Miller. Yeah. Well, if you do this, you are going to have to change your last name to Injured, she countered. I'm not going to get injured. I have a helmet, pads, and gloves. I was born to play this sport. Judy stood up and walked toward the hallway. Oh, really? Well, let us visit a place I like to call Bill's Closet of Lost Dreams. She pulled open the door, revealing a graveyard of abandoned hobbies. There was the summer you were born to fish, she said, pointing to a tangled rod and a box of rusted lures. In my defense, I only gave up because worms are inherently icky, Bill muttered. And the winter you were born to ski, she said, gesturing toward a pair of bright red skis that hadn't seen snow in a decade. I was born to ski, Bill corrected her. I just was not born with the ability to stop on command. And that part of the afternoon you were born to scuba dive, Judy concluded, pointing to a dusty snorkel and mask. I do not care if sharks do not live in freshwater lakes, Bill shouted as he gathered his gear. That was a shark. I saw the fin. Later that evening, Bill was on the rink. It was significantly more difficult than he remembered. The wheels on his skates seemed to have a mind of their own, and the other players were moving at a speed that felt supernatural. Come on. Phil, a teammate screamed, zooming past him. What are you doing? We are playing a 3-2 defense. You cannot play the point unless you get back. I know that, Bill gasped, his face the color of a ripe beet. This is the beginner league, right? Why are we moving so fast? Yeah. But it is also hockey, the teammate yelled. Move yourself. Phil. Bill's eyes widened. Wait. I am Phil. My name is Bill. Phil sucks, another player yelled as they skated by. I do not want to be Phil, Bill cried out. But he was interrupted by a collision with the boards that left him seeing stars. When Bill finally dragged himself through the front door later that night, he was moving with the grace of a 100-year-old tortoise. Tina was waiting for him in the foyer. Daddy, she chirped. Stop. 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 Hi. Honey, Bill wheezed, leaning heavily against the doorframe. What is in the bag? Daddy's hockey equipment, Bill replied. his voice barely a whisper. Can I play with it? You can have it, Bill muttered. It belongs to the world now. Hey, Bill, Judy said, walking into the room. How was hockey? Did you reclaim your glory? Well, Bill started. It was not exactly what I expected. The physics of the rink have changed since the 90s. Trevor got that broken air conditioner out of the bedroom for us while you were gone, Judy noted. He did it with one hand. Bill's shoulders slumped. Of course he did. He probably used his teeth. Linda and Trevor were in the kitchen. So, Bill, how did it feel to get back on the horse? Trevor asked, looking entirely too healthy. Great, Bill lied, trying to hide the fact that his left leg was currently numb. Just great. I was just telling Judy I cannot wait for the next game. I am a beast on the court. Tina. Honey. Do not play with Daddy's equipment, Judy said, seeing the girl trying to wear a goalie mask. But he said I could have it. Hey. Look. I have gum. Bill distracted her. Where do you want this air conditioner? Judy, Trevor asked, lifting the massive unit as if it were a bag of feathers. Oh. Put it in the mudroom, Judy said. Bill. Give him a hand. Sure, Bill said, attempting to stand. His knees let out a sound like two dry branches breaking in the wind. As Trevor carried the unit away, Linda giggled. That is the second rusty old thing he has taken out of this house this week. Judy laughed. Bill did not. Would you mind if I take away your houseboy? Bill asked Judy later that night as they lay in bed. Well, Judy replied, I figured since we had a young, strong guy around, I might as well take advantage of the labor. I mean, that old fridge in the garage is not going to walk itself to the curb. Bill. I could have done that, Bill insisted. I do not think so, Judy said. It still had the chain around it from when you tried to drag it with the car. That was a dark day for our transmission. Bill sighed, rubbing his aching hip. So, tell me about the game. Bill, Judy said. Did your team win? Barely, Bill muttered. Some guy on our team, named Phil, accidentally knocked the puck into our own goal. Twice. He was a complete disaster. What an absolute idiot, Judy said, shaking her head. Yeah, Bill agreed. A total moron. Well, did you score any goals? Bill hesitated, then decided to lean into the fantasy. Yeah. 2. Both were masterpieces of athletic precision. All right. Bill, Judy said, holding up her hand for a high five. You know, everyone does high fives. That is why I am bringing this one back. She performed a strange, rhythmic wave. Suddenly, a rhythmic thumping sound echoed from the floorboards. What is that noise? Judy asked. Bill was on the rug, doing what appeared to be very slow, agonizing sit-ups. Oh, just doing some crunches, he gasped. I have already done 100. Are you feeling all right? Bill, Judy asked, her voice full of skepticism. I feel fantastic. I am a fountain of youth. Really? Because you were walking around earlier like you were made of glass. You sure you did not overdo it playing hockey? Not at all, Bill snapped. Admit it, Judy poked his arm. You are a little sore. Stop it, Bill said. I know you are sore, she persisted. Okay. Maybe a little, Bill conceded. But only in the muscles that matter. Judy smiled triumphantly. Well, if you cannot make it down the stairs tomorrow, I could put your hockey gear in the closet of lost dreams for you. Nothing is going in the closet, Bill shouted. You are right, Judy agreed. We will have Trevor carry everything out to the curb for the trash collectors. Bill looked at her, his pride wounded. You know, it is easy to criticize from the sidelines. Judy, but when was the last time you saw the inside of a gym? Has it been 15 years? Judy's jaw dropped. What? I do not have to work out. I am naturally thin. It is a gift. There is a massive difference between being thin and being athletic, Bill countered. At least I am out there trying to be fit. Trying to be youthful. Who else is doing that here in this room? Oh. Wait. It is just me. Judy stood up, her eyes narrowing. Easy. Judy, Bill mocked. Do not get that heart rate up. It is not used to the excitement. You know what I think, Judy said, her voice trembling with competitive energy. I think I will go with Linda to the health club tomorrow. Great idea, Bill chuckled. You can sit at the juice bar and tell people how you are naturally thin while you eat a muffin. I am going to take Trevor's spinning class, Judy announced. And after that, I might lift weights. And after that, I might take a kickboxing class. I will be a machine. Kickboxing, Bill laughed. Like you could handle a single round. Judy suddenly lashed out with a quick, precise kick that stopped an inch from Bill's shin. Ow, Bill yelled, though she had not even touched him. I did not even kick you, Judy noted. I know, Bill groaned, clutching his leg. I got a cramp just watching you move that fast. The next morning, Linda looked at Judy with genuine concern as they stood outside the health club. Are you sure you want to do this? Trevor's spinning class is an intense, heart-pounding workout. What is it with everyone today? Judy asked, adjusting her brand-new headband. I used to work out a lot when I was younger. Running away from the authorities because they caught you with a six-pack behind the stadium is not working out, Linda pointed out. I can handle riding a bicycle that does not go anywhere, Judy insisted. Unlike your age, which seems to be moving in reverse. Linda frowned. For your information, I felt guilty making Trevor think I was 27. So this weekend, we are celebrating my 20th birthday. No presents. Just youth. Inside the house. Bill was struggling to put on his socks. Judy walked in, looking like an Olympic athlete in training. Bill, is that you? Yep, Bill grunted.